Hey guys, this is Sean from SeanArthur.com, and today we are having KSIX Clip and Zoom Universal 8x smartphone camera zoom lens with us, and we are going to perform an unboxing and quick hands-on of this gadget for our smartphones. First of all, thanks to Mobile Fun for providing this accessory for reviewing purpose. So let's start it. So here is the retail box of KSIX 8x universal smartphone zoom lens. So this is the front side. As you can see here, it's written KSIX Smart with Tech. This is the lens we are talking about, and here is some information that read the product user manual and something. Nothing is important here. On the back side, lots of things are written, but in multiple languages. Here it's in English that it is universal telephoto lens for smartphones and tablets. Great accessory for long distance photos and videos. 8x zoom, and the lens used is having focus 1.1, aperture, universal clip mount, and that's all I think. And it's by Atlantis International company, and it's made in Spain. Here it's written that it's KSIX gadget. Same on the left side. At the top we are having nothing, at the bottom once again it's the same thing. Now let's open it and let's see what we got inside. So here we go. Okay, so the very first thing that came out is the user manual. Here is a lens cleaner. This is the lens clip, and here is our lens. That's all we got inside. So let's take them out. This is the lens, and here is our clip. So let's have a look on the lens. First of all, what we got here is big lens, as you can see, and basically nothing is written except this number, that's all. And this is what we got. There is no KSIX branding or something. So this is the part that will be connected to the clip, I think, and yes. So this is where we are having some information that it is having 8x zoom mobile telephone lens, 16-degree, and it's f1.1 once again. So this is nice that we are having these caps to protect the lenses on both sides, and here we are having this clip. So let's connect it. So the setup is pretty easy. As you can see, you just need to put this side of the lens on the clip and then just mount it by screwing like this, and now you can connect it to any of the smartphones by putting the phone here. So we got few of the latest smartphones. Let me try few of them on this lens. So before using the lens on any of the smartphone, first of all, let me tell you about few of the highlighted feature of this lens, that it is having 8x optical zoom, and it is designed for imaging plus videography. It works for both type of imaging. It is a universal lens, so you can use it basically on any of the smartphone. We will be checking this right now in this video. And the second thing is that it is case compatible. This is what it is claimed by KSIX, so we will check that claim here as well. I got one HTC Desire 10 Pro here, so let me try. So as you can see that the lens is connected to the Desire 10, and let's see that whether it is working fine or not. Okay, so when I am connecting this lens here, So now as you can see that the lens is connected, but as you can see that few of this part is covered by the lens. Even though it is looking perfectly fit, it is not so perfect. So you will have to be very careful in adjusting the lens here on top of your device. See, most of the time this part is coming, so this is, as you can see, it's fitting perfectly on the lens. But when we are looking at the camera app, you can see that it's not perfect. Let's check on our HTC Bolt here. Okay, here we go. Now let me launch the camera app. So the camera app is launched, as you can see here, on HTC Bolt over the case. So as you can see, once again it's fitting perfectly here. It's right above the lens, but once again we are having the same issue that at the top it is covering a part of the frame. So you will have to adjust it. So it's kind of fish eye effect is coming here. So even though the lens is compatible over the case and most of the smartphones, the setting is not perfect because of the different size of the lenses on different kind of smartphones. Now let's check on some other smartphone. Here we got Echo Lay 2, and let me try to keep this lens here. Now let's launch the camera app, and once again you can see it's kind of fish eye type of effect is coming. All these part of the frame, they are having the fish eye effect, vignette effect, whatever you would like to call it, because here as you can see the connection of this lens with the camera lens is perfect, but here we are having this issue, this dark areas here on the lens. And now let's check on some other smartphone. What we got here is HTC 10. It is also having the cover, so let's try once again on this. Here we go. Let's launch the camera, and once again the same thing as you can see here. So we can see that the lens is working perfectly over the case, but once again it is having some issue in adjustment. So it's the same thing, as you can see, it's edges of the frame, they are black. And let's check how good it is working in terms of zooming. So I have just captured few images using KSIX 8x optical zoom lens on our Echo Lay 2 here. So you can see that in this picture I have captured one flower pot, and you can see that even in the frame that black spots are coming on the corner, just like as it was coming earlier. And here is another picture. So you can see that these two pictures, they are having lots of difference in terms of color saturation and clarity. So one thing here is that you need to focus the lens perfectly. This part, as you can see, it's a rotating part here, and you can adjust the focus using this, but you have to be very careful because even a slight change in position was totally blurring the image when I was trying. So one picture is coming like this, you can see that it is not having good clarity, and most important thing is that it is having not the real color saturation like this. And after trying for like few seconds I got this picture. Now let me show you the original pic. So this is the original flower pot without optical zoom lens here. So if you compare this image and this image, you can see that the KSIX zoom lens is serving the purpose very nicely, and it is providing good amount of detail and clarity, and also the color saturation is really nice. But you have to use this lens carefully. First of all, you have to adjust it perfectly, and then you need to focus it perfectly to get this much clarity. And even slight change in the position of the lens is causing blurriness and faded effect like this, you can see here. And this is another image I have captured. You can see it is also having good amount of details and clarity, but one problem here is that this frame, as you can see, that all four corners, they are looking slightly bent or deformed, but in reality all of them, they are having totally straight edges. So if you go to this original image here, this is the frame we are talking about, you can see that all these corners, they are totally straight. But when we captured this image using the KSIX optical zoom lens, somehow all these edges of the frame, they are coming bent. So this is a demerit of this lens. And as I said, another demerit is that you have to be very careful for taking pictures. You have to set the focus perfectly to get the exact original color and also the clarity. But the clarity is really very nice, as you can see. If you compare it with this image without the zoom lens, the performance of this KSIX lens is much better in providing the optical zoom. And we also captured few images on our HTC 10 here, and in this we faced some issues because as you can see here, the images, they are coming blurred most of the time. Here also the same flower pot in the same frame, and there is no clarity, and also the color saturation is not original. You can see here it's more pinkish and here it's totally faded. And the very same issue, you can see that the frame, the edges, they are bent slightly. And maybe the reason behind this is the laser autofocus, because even though I tried to manually focus using this lens, it was not working. I was not able to get the perfect picture with good clarity and amount of detail. You can see it's all blurry, this image and this image as well. So the performance of KSIX zoom lens also depends, I think, on what kind of smartphone you are using and how good it is adjusting with the original camera lens of the device. But as you can see, the performance of KSIX 8x optical zoom lens is very nice. The setup is very easy. All you have to do is just screw this lens on the clip and attach this clip to your smartphone, and after that you are good to go. All you have to do is just be careful about the total setup, that it is not moving, and you have to adjust the focus properly to get the clarity and the original color saturation and rest of the stuff. So for photo enthusiasts and photography lovers, this is a very nice accessory that you must buy, because this is the only accessory that brings optical zoom feature to a smartphone. So thanks for watching the video, friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. More videos, tips and tricks, and hands-on reviews like this. Have a nice day.